Welcome back, everybody. Yes, it is still June the 19th, 2024. I just finished up the other video for the Gretsch G2604 P90, and this showed up today. And this should be an interesting guitar. We'll crack open the box. As you can tell, once again, it is from the good people at Adorama. We just have these incredibly tempting deals on guitars, and I try to stay within the realm of not repeating myself, so I try to always get something that's a little bit different than what I've had, just to keep it interesting. We got some bubble wrap that's attached itself. So, apologies for having to cut through it, but there's no other way. So, this guitar is a Gretsch, obviously. Well, not obviously, but let's pull out the invoice. This is a Gretsch 2604. Rally 2. And I guess the story behind the Rally is, back in the late 60s, I guess Gretsch was getting a case of, I don't know how to say it, maybe morbidity, maybe the excitement of George Harrison and other aspiring rock stars playing Gretsch's was starting to wear thin. Who knows? Gretsch was bought by another company. I'm not sure who it was at the time. Let's just take a quick look at this. Okay. So the staples are intact on this end. But once again, I want to zoom in just to point out, because I'm always suspicious, this box again has been taped. My experience with other new Gretsch guitars is the box is stapled, and we can already see that the staples have in fact been popped, and I'm not sure why Adorama does this. I want you to see this in real time. The staples have been popped. I did not pop them. So this box has been opened. By who, when, where, what, I don't know. The condition of the guitar will tell the tale. As I mentioned in the previous guitar, it had obviously been taken out of its box because there were things missing. So we'll just see what the story is on this guitar. So anyways, back to my story. So this is a G2604. This is called the Rally 2. Apparently the original was the Rally 1, hence the Rally 2. And this is a semi-hollow body. We may have some problems here, and I'll tell you what. The problem is, this is not sitting down. I don't know if it got banged around. You can see again, I just want the camera to see that this has been jammed up, and the neck of the guitar was not sitting down flush. So that's a possible problem. That always gives us the potential for the cracked headstock, which makes me cringe. I have had a few guitars with that issue, and it's just an awful feeling when you open up the box and you run your hand and you can feel that the headstock is cracked. Terrible feeling. Anyways, and the other reason why I hesitated on this guitar, I've never had a guitar with a Bigsby. I'm not a big tremolo person, but I thought, why not? It can't hurt to have it for once. And a big guitar to get it on is a semi-hollow. Okay, so it does have the build. And okay. Settings feel good. The action feels very high. I'm just looking at it to see if it has signs of being held. What I would like to try here real quick, I had bought a case, just a generic case off eBay. And I'm curious to see, excuse me, if this guitar fits in here. I have a feeling it does. Oh, yes, it does. Perfect fit. So that's good. So the guitar has a case. I'm going to weigh this thing. It feels, again, you know that I'm probably going to lose my job in the circus, because I haven't been doing too good on my guessing, but we're going to put you on hold for just a moment. And we're going to weigh this and we'll be back. But it's a very pretty looking guitar. And apparently it has, let's just see the details. Yes, it looks like it has the plastic covering on the pickups and on the pickguard. Switch feels fine. Radio control knobs. Some people hate them. Some people like them. Wiring's a little sloppy. Bigsby's a real interesting looking beast. It has a chunk of plastic on it too. So I'm going to say this is a brand new guitar. I'm going to ask him about the box just because I'm curious. This is the Oxblood Walnut. It looks sort of red. Yeah. Okay, let me weigh it real quick. Don't go. Okay, so according to my scale, it comes in at 7 pounds, which is a nice weight. And again, so, you know, superficial wise, I like the different configuration of this. It's a mix-up. I guess this was exclusive to the Rally guitar. I'm curious about a Bigsby. The pickups are super something or others. Supposedly they're much closer to a legitimate Gretsch than a lot of the generic Gretsch pickups. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they sound. And the only way we're going to know how to do that is to go plug this puppy in. So we will be back. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, that is my neighbor's dog who's going to serenade us. Anyways, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon now. I meant to mention that once again, UPS, total surprise, this guitar got delivered like it's 10 o'clock this morning, which was just amazing. I didn't have to sit and wait for it all day long, so I'm incredibly grateful for that. Again, this is the Gretsch G2604 Rally 2. That's its official name. Very nice guitar. I will never use the Bigsby, but it's sort of fun to have one on there. And it's such a lightweight guitar that, you know, you look at the Bigsby and you think, oh, this thing's going to weigh a ton. Apparently they're made out of aluminum, and it's only about 10 or 11 ounces. It just looks massive. And on a Gretsch guitar, it just seems appropriate since so many of them have it. I mean, I guess once in a while I'll get my Dwayne Eddy on and do a little wow. But it stays in tune. The spring is incredibly stiff. If I were to actually get into using it at some point, I probably would get a softer spring. So yeah, total impression of this guitar, very nice. What's interesting is the last two Gretsches that I've gotten, this one and the G2604 P90, both had really, I shouldn't say really, but they had sharp fret ends, which is a surprise because the other ones that I've gotten have been just smooth as butter, so I don't know if it's just a climate thing. It doesn't feel like fret sprout, it just feels like they weren't finished very well. It takes all of 5 minutes with a fret file to just knock some of the burrs off and it feels much better. The interesting thing about this guitar, I don't know what the camera is showing you, it's considered, the color is called Oxblood Walnut. The top is definitely darker than the sides and the back, which is really sort of an oddity of Gretsch that they do this. So the paint on the front is obviously the walnut. I can see a little bit of red in there, but if you're not careful, it looks black. But then when you go to the side of the guitars, on the back, clearly that's where you see the oxblood. And what's weird is that they use a transparent or translucent, I don't know what the difference is, but you can see through it. You can see the nice wood grain on the back of the guitar. But the front is opaque, and you can't. And that just seems really backwards, since, 90% of the time in your life you're going to be looking at the front of your guitar. It seems like that they would have put the lighter color on the front with the transparent so you could see the wood grain. But that's just an oddity of Gretsch. Another oddity, interesting, my other ones, my 2420, my 2655, has binding around the headstock. This one doesn't. I'm guessing back in 67, 68, 69, this was a lower priced option, and so they didn't do the binding. I don't mind no binding on the F-holes, that doesn't matter. I really, really like the quirky control setup that's different from the typical Gretsch. Like this fine model right here that has the typical Gretsch, let's call it the Gretsch triangle. So I like what they did on this one. This has a very sort of a retro feel to it. A lot of people don't like these radio control knobs. I like them. I think they're fun. I know nothing about these pickups other than they're, to me, again, depending on who you talk to, one guy is on YouTube saying that these are low output. Gretsch is saying that they're high output. I would guess that they're lower output just based on all things being equal when I plug it into my amp. If I want to get the same volume that I get out of the other guitars, I need to turn it up a little bit. The action's a little high on this side, and there's not a whole lot of room to go down on this. So I don't know, I haven't checked the relief on the neck. I usually don't do that for a couple of days, if not a week, just try to get used to its new surroundings. But overall, very satisfied, very nice. I have a G2604, which is the same body style, just has the different pickups, doesn't have the knobs that are back to the normal thing. Beautiful color. I think it's called Forge Glow, which is just one of their prettier sunbursts. And I don't really like the sound of it, and I like the sound of this better, so that's why I bought this, thinking that if I noticed the difference in tone and I could appreciate it. Yeah, the other thing that I would mention too, now these list for $6.99. I don't know if anyone's ever bought one for $6.99. That's what Musician's Friend, Guitar Center, and Sweetwater have them for sale. I don't know if Sweetwater ever does any discounts. I know Musician's Friend and Guitar Center, you can usually get 15% whoosh, whacked right off the top. I don't know if I would pay that much for this guitar. That being said, if you look at comparable Epiphones, and that would be the most, even comparison, I'm not sure what they want for like $339, $335 330 style Epiphone body styles these days, $500, $600, $700. But at Adorama, that currently has this one for sale for $299. And if you want to upgrade to the bamboo, which I would have preferred the bamboo finish, it's more classic to me. The green doesn't interest me at all, but they want $100 more for those. And again, I'm a bedroom player, so I'm not going to spend $100 just for a finish. It seems ridiculous. I mean, the same paint comes out of the same gun. It's all a matter of demand. They think that people want the bamboo and the green more, so they charge $100 more for them. This is fine for me. And it really is a pretty color. And like I said, the camera is probably really not showing you that there is a red tint in the walnut. It would have been nice. They should have just done the whole guitar in the ox blood, because it's just a nice deep, too much reflection there. Yeah, it's a nice deep red, really pretty. But it is a really nice guitar, really nice. Feels good, fit and finish is nice. The tuners, again, I've said over and over and over again, they would be really well served. I'd spend $25 more if they would put a better set of tuners on it. They stay in tune, they hold the tune, but you can feel that they're just cheap. And again, if they were selling these for $300, you'd go, okay, but when you're asking $699, and they're putting the same tuners on this as they're putting on their $199 guitars, that is, in my humble opinion, being penny wise and dollar foolish, right? When you start going up in your prices, yeah, you've got to match in some way, shape, or form some of the accoutrements, which would be the switch. Feels fine. I'm going to say it over and over and over until I'm blue in the face. They should put a jack plate on these guitars. That's really a weak spot, and you have to keep an eye on that and make sure it doesn't get loose, because if it doesn't, it falls in the guitar. You've got major surgery ahead of you. Anyways, I will be back in a week or so to give you final thoughts, conclusions, because as we know, sometimes as you play guitar, you like it more, you like it less. After owning the G2604 P90 for a week, I love that guitar. That guitar just really clicks all the boxes. The only thing I don't love is the finish, but again, that's just superficial. And when I'm playing it, I'm not staring at the finish, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, we will be back with more commentary. Thank you very much. And yes, again, it is June the 19th, 2024. I believe it's officially the final day of spring. Tomorrow officially being the first day of summer. So, woohoo! Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. It is now July the 4th, 2024, Thursday afternoon, the day the United States celebrates its independence from England. And I've had this guitar now just about 2 weeks. And believe it or not, I have another guitar coming tomorrow, so I thought I would finish this up with a few final thoughts, and my thoughts are this. I really like this guitar. For the price that, let's see, I believe I got this guitar from Adorama through Slick Deals. And again, I've mentioned, if you just type in Slick Deals, their web page comes up. If you type in Gretsch in their search bar, then these deals come up. And they've got this one. This is the G2604 Rally 2. This is a reissue of a guitar that Gretsch, I believe, came out in the late 60s, early 70s. And notice the different knob configuration, which of course drove Gretsch purists crazy. And I don't think this guitar sold very well. So anyways, really nice guitar. This particular color is walnut oxblood, and I mentioned in the earlier video, Gretsch, in their weirdness, puts the dark walnut on the top, and they put the oxblood on the side and the back, which I would have done it just the opposite, but I'm not Gretsch, and they didn't ask me, so, and when you're playing, it doesn't really matter. Really a nice guitar. Again, this particular model, the walnut oxblood model, Adorama $2.99, and then for $100 more you can get the, I don't know what color green, but it's a green one, and then they have what they call the bamboo one. You know, I would have preferred the bamboo one just because I like the lighter color, but not for $100 more. And it's, you know, exactly the same guitar. So yeah, really like this guitar. It plays good, it feels good. It's actually a light guitar. I do not use the Bigsby at all, but I have to say that when it comes to just a different tailpiece, Bigsby's are just sort of steampunk, way ahead of their time. Just, yeah. And I guess they're made out of aluminum, so it doesn't really add a lot of weight to the guitar. It looks like it would. Previous to ever owning one, I always looked at it and went, geez, man, that's got to be 5 extra pounds. But according to everything that I've looked at, it's about 10 ounces maybe. At least that's what's reported. This is a Bigsby licensed, so I'm not sure what that means, other than it's probably not quite up to the same quality as a name brand Bigsby. But yeah, it's a really nice guitar. It plays good. It sounds good. You know, Gretsch is famous for these crazy names for their pickups, and these are the super something. But they sound really good. They've got a nice smooth tone to it. And I've owned a few Epiphone semi-hollow body guitars, and you know, I think their most inexpensive one, their 335, goes for $450. And this is certainly equal, if not better. I hate to repeat myself. My major rant on this guitar is that they don't put jack plates on the output jack, so it makes them just really vulnerable to, you have to just be very careful that you don't step on your cord, because you could hear that undeniable crack and just start crying. I don't know why they don't put jack plates on. At this price point, they don't bind the F-holes. Who cares? They paint it. That's nice. The hardware potentiometers, they're okay. Tuners are okay. They work. So, anyways, that pretty much wraps it up. That gives you my impressions of owning this guitar for 2 weeks. So we'll be back tomorrow with another surprise. It is a Gretsch, but it's different. Of course, all the ones I've gotten are different. This one's a little different in a couple ways. So anyways, happy 4th of July to everybody. Be safe if you're going to use fireworks. I think they said the acronym is WOW. Water. I forgot what the O was. And walk away. Water. I don't know what the O is. Wow. Anyways, be careful. A lot of people are in the emergency rooms as we speak from accidental issues with fireworks. They can be very dangerous. Fun to watch, but very dangerous. Okay. Goodbye.